The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. Ayam Sioh is a treasured Nyonya-Peranakan stew fusing Chinese techniques with Malay spices. This tangy, sweet-savory chicken is defined by bold tamarind and toasted coriander. Traditionally prepared for festivals, its high acidity preserves the meat without refrigeration, allowing the flavors to deepen over days. Originally a duck dish, it is celebrated for its thick, caramelized gravy and deep cultural history. Chicken. Whole chicken, 1, about 1.5 kilograms, minus, people spoon, cut into 8 large pieces, cooking oil, 90 milliliters, minus, for deep frying. Tamarind sauce, minus, people, 30-60 g, mixed with 810 milliliters water and strained. Rice vinegar, 1 1/2 tablespoon. Dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons. Sugar, 50 g. Salt, 2 teaspoons. Roasted ground coriander, 3 tablespoons. Shallots, 12, peeled and ground to a paste. Garlic, 3 cloves, peeled and ground to a paste. Here are the written ingredient list. Preparation steps. Step 1. Prepare the tamarind juice. Place 360 g of tamarind pulp in a large heat-proof bowl. Pour over 810 milliliters of warm water and allow the pulp to soak for 10-15 minutes until softened. Using your hands or the back of a spoon, squeeze and massage the tamarind pulp thoroughly against the bottom and sides of the bowl to dissolve as much of the fibrous pulp as possible into the water. The liquid should turn a deep, cloudy brown. Strain the mixture through a fine mesh sieve into another bowl, pressing hard on the solids with the back of a spoon to extract every last drop of tamarind liquid. Discard the seeds and fibrous residue caught in the sieve. You should have approximately 700-750 milliliters of smooth, intensely sour tamarind juice. Set aside. Cross-reference note, Charmaine Solomon describes soaking tamarind in hot water, then squeezing to dissolve the pulp and straining through a fine sieve. If pulp remains on the seeds, add more hot water and continue rubbing between the fingers to dissolve. The Sugar and Everything Nice blog recipe from traditional Malaysian cuisine uses 250 g of tamarind mixed with 1 cup of water and strained. Betty Saw's version uses a larger quantity of tamarind and water, producing a more generous, saucier gravy suitable for 6-8 servings. Step 2. Dry roast and grind the coriander seeds. Place 3 tablespoons of whole coriander seeds in a dry, heavy-bottom pan or wok over medium-low heat. Do not add any oil. Stir continuously with a spatula, tossing the seeds to ensure even toasting. The seeds will gradually darken from pale tan to a deep golden brown and release a warm, citrusy, almost sweet aroma. This should take 3-5 minutes. Remove from the pan the moment the color deepens, as coriander burns quickly and turns bitter if overdone. Transfer to a plate and allow to cool completely. Once cooled, grind the roasted seeds in a spice grinder, coffee mill, or with a mortar and pestle until they form a fine, fragrant powder. The freshly roasted and ground coriander is one of the 2 defining flavors of this dish. Its warm, citrusy perfume balances the sharp acidity of the tamarind beautifully. Set aside 3 tablespoons of the ground coriander. Cross-reference note, Charmaine Solomon instructs roasting coriander in a dry pan over low heat, stirring constantly until it becomes fragrant and darkens in color. The Ms. Eswa Wa and the Boy blog adapted from Sylvia Tan's Modern Nyonya notes that if pre-ground roasted coriander powder is unavailable, you should dry roast whole coriander seeds in a wok and grind them yourself. This fresh roasted quality is what gives Ayam Sioh its distinctive depth. Step 3. Grind the shallots and garlic. Peel 12 shallots and 3 cloves of garlic. Place them in a blender or food processor and grind to a smooth, fine paste. If using a mortar and pestle, pound the shallots first until they break down into a paste, then add the garlic and continue pounding until the mixture is uniform. The shallot-garlic paste forms the aromatic base of the tamarind sauce and should be as smooth as possible. Any coarse chunks will remain visible in the finished gravy. Set aside. Cross-reference note, the Sugar and Everything Nice blog from traditional Malaysian cuisine calls for 10 shallots pounded finely. Betty Saw's version uses 12 shallots plus 3 cloves of garlic ground together, which adds a slightly more complex aromatic foundation. The traditional Nyonya method of hand pounding with a granite mortar and pestle produces a smoother, more cohesive paste than a blender, releasing the shallot's natural oils more fully. Step 4. Combine the tamarind sauce. In a large mixing bowl, combine the prepared tamarind juice, 1 1/2 tablespoon rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons dark soy sauce, 150 g sugar, 2 teaspoons salt, 3 tablespoons of the freshly roasted and ground coriander, and the ground shallot garlic paste. Stir thoroughly until the sugar and salt are completely dissolved and all the ingredients are well incorporated. The sauce should be a deep, glossy brown, sweet, sour, salty, and aromatic all at once. Taste it. The flavor should be intensely tangy from the tamarind, balanced by the sweetness of the sugar, grounded by the soy sauce, and lifted by the warm citrus of the coriander. Adjust the balance if desired, a little more sugar if too sour, a little more tamarind if too sweet. This is the marinade and cooking sauce, so the flavor should be bold and concentrated. Cross-reference note, Charmaine Solomon combines the roasted coriander with the tamarind, then adds soy sauce, sugar, and salt. The Sugar and Everything Nice blog combines coriander powder, sugar, salt, soy sauce, pepper, and shallots with the tamarind juice. Betty Saw's version uniquely adds rice vinegar alongside the tamarind, creating an additional layer of acidity that brightens the sauce and enhances its preservation qualities. The Ms. Iwa and the boy version uses maltose and raw sugar for a slightly different sweetness profile. Step 5. Marinate the chicken. Wash the chicken pieces and pat them dry with kitchen paper. Place the chicken in a large, non-aluminium bowl or container. Glass, ceramic, or stainless steel is ideal, as aluminium will react with the tamarind and impart a metallic taste. Pour the combined tamarind sauce over the chicken, ensuring every piece is thoroughly coated. Cover the bowl with cling film or a tight-fitting lid and refrigerate overnight, or for at least 6-8 hours. Turn the chicken pieces at least twice during the marination period, once midway through, and again about an hour before cooking, so that every piece absorbs the marinade evenly. The tamarind's acidity will begin to break down the surface proteins of the chicken, tenderizing the meat and allowing the flavors to penetrate deeply. Cross-reference note, Charmaine Solomon explicitly recommends marinating for 6-8 hours, turning chicken pieces over at least twice, and stresses using a non-aluminium container. Aslan Bloor, Singaporean and Malaysian recipes, explains that the traditional recipe takes 3 days before it is ready to eat, marinating overnight, cooking, then resting the finished dish for a day or two so the flavors mature. She notes, however, that if time is short, even 1 hour of marination will produce a delicious result. Betty Saw's overnight marination is the practical sweet spot for home cooks. Cooking steps. Step 6. Simmer the chicken in the tamarind sauce. Remove the marinated chicken from the refrigerator and bring it to room temperature for about 30 minutes. This ensures even cooking. Pour the entire tamarind sauce from the marinade into a large, heavy-bottomed pot. Bring the sauce to a slow boil over moderate heat. Once the sauce is gently bubbling, carefully lower the chicken pieces into the pot in a single layer. Reduce the heat to maintain a gentle simmer, not a rolling boil, which would toughen the chicken. Cover the pot partially and simmer over moderate heat for 20 minutes. Turn each chicken piece over, then continue to simmer for another 20 minutes, or until the chicken is cooked through and tender when pierced with a fork at the thickest part of the thigh. The juices should run clear, not pink. The sauce will have darkened and begun to reduce, coating the chicken in a glossy, syrupy glaze. W2's cross. Reference note, Charmaine Solomon simmers the chicken in the marinade on low heat, uncovered, until tender, about 40 minutes. The Sugar and Everything Nice blog boils the chicken in the marinade for 20 minutes over medium heat, turns it, then reduces heat and boils for another 20 minutes, closely matching Betty Saw's method. Aslan Bloor notes that the long, gentle simmer is what allows the tamarind to fully penetrate and tenderize the meat. Step 7. Separate the chicken and reduce the sauce. Once the chicken is tender, carefully lift each piece out of the sauce using tongs or a slotted spoon. Allow the excess sauce to drain back into the pot, then transfer the chicken pieces to a colander set over a bowl to drain thoroughly. The chicken needs to be as dry as possible before frying. Return the pot of sauce to the stove and increase the heat to medium-high. Continue to cook the sauce, stirring frequently with a wooden spoon to prevent scorching until it reduces to a very thick, dark, glossy syrup that coats the back of the spoon heavily. This reduction concentrates all the flavors. The tamarind becomes deeply tangy, the sugar caramelizes slightly, and the coriander releases its full aromatic potential. The sauce should be thick enough to cling to the chicken in a rich, glaze-like layer rather than running off. Remove from heat and set aside. Cross-reference note, Charmaine Solomon instructs, lift chicken pieces from gravy and drain thoroughly. Continue to simmer sauce until very thick and reduced. This two-step technique, simmering the chicken to tenderness first, then reducing the sauce separately, is the defining method of Ayam Sioh. It ensures the chicken is flavored through to the bone while the sauce achieves its characteristic thick, sticky consistency. Step 8. Deep fry the chicken. Heat 90 milliliters of cooking oil in a wok or deep, heavy-bottomed pan until hot. The oil should shimmer and a wooden chopstick inserted into it should produce steady bubbles. Carefully lower the drained chicken pieces into the hot oil, working in batches of 3-4 to avoid overcrowding the pan. Fry for 2-3 minutes per batch, turning occasionally until the chicken skin is golden brown and slightly crisp. The high sugar content in the marinade means the skin will caramelize quickly, so watch carefully to prevent burning. The frying step adds a textural contrast to the dish. The skin becomes lightly crisp and deeply browned, while the meat beneath remains moist and tender from the long simmer. Remove the fried chicken with a slotted spoon and drain on kitchen paper. Cross-reference note, Charmaine Solomon states, cut chicken into smaller pieces, heat oil and fry until brown. Betty Saw's recipe specifies 90 milliliters of oil for deep frying, which is a shallow fry rather than a deep pool. This is sufficient because the chicken is already fully cooked and only needs browning. The Ms. Ihua and the Boy blog offers a roasted alternative, baking the marinated chicken in a 200 degrees Celsius oven for about 45 minutes instead of frying, a healthier option that still produces beautifully browned skin. Step 9. Glaze the chicken and serve. Arrange the deep-fried chicken pieces on a warm serving platter. Reheat the reduced tamarind sauce if it is cooled, then ladle the thick, glossy gravy generously over the chicken, ensuring every piece is coated. The sauce should cling to the chicken in a dark, syrupy glaze, pooling slightly at the bottom of the dish. Garnish if desired with cucumber slices and tomato slices for a refreshing contrast to the rich, tangy chicken. Serve immediately with steamed white jasmine rice, which is essential for soaking up the intense, flavorful gravy. Ayam Sioh is traditionally served as part of a larger Nyonya meal. It pairs beautifully with simple stir-fried greens, a cucumber salad, and sambal belacan for those who want an extra kick of heat. Like many Peranakan dishes, it is even better the next day. The flavors continue to deepen and meld as the chicken sits in its sauce, so do not hesitate to make it a day ahead. Cross-reference note: Aslan Blur, Singaporean and Malaysian recipes, emphasizes that ayam sioh is even better the next day and recommends serving it with steamed jasmine rice, simple stir-fried greens, or a tangy cucumber salad, and sambal belacan. She also notes that the dish started life as itek sioh and that chicken became more popular over time. Charmaine Solomon suggests serving with steamed rice, while Betty Saw's recipe includes cucumber and tomato garnish for visual and textural contrast. Notes and tips. Chicken. A whole chicken cut into 8 large pieces is traditional, as the bone-in pieces retain more moisture and flavor during a long simmer. If preferred, bone-in chicken thighs and drumsticks work excellently and are easier to handle. Free-range or kampong chicken is ideal. Its firmer texture and richer flavor stand up beautifully to the bold tamarind sauce. Avoid boneless, skinless breasts, which will dry out during simmering and lack the textural contrast of crisp skin. Tamarind. Use fresh tamarind pulp rather than concentrates or pastes if possible. The natural pulp produces a cleaner, fruitier acidity. If using tamarind concentrate, dilute 4-5 tablespoons in 810 milliliters of warm water and adjust to taste. The quality of the tamarind is the single most important factor in this dish, as it provides the primary flavor and the preservation properties. Coriander. Always roast and grind your own coriander seeds fresh. Pre-ground coriander loses its volatile oils quickly and will not deliver the same warm, citrusy depth. The roasting step takes only minutes but transforms the flavor entirely, releasing compounds that raw coriander simply does not have. Sugar. Betty Saw uses 150 g of white sugar, which produces a sweet-tart balance. Some Peranakan families use a mixture of white sugar and gula melaka for a deeper, more caramel-like sweetness. Adjust the sugar to your taste. The sauce should be distinctly tangy but with enough sweetness to round off the sharp edges of the tamarind. Make-ahead. Ayam Sioh is a perfect make-ahead dish. In fact, the traditional method involves marinating overnight, cooking, then resting the finished dish for 1-2 days before serving. The tamarind's acidity acts as a natural preservative, so leftovers can be kept at room temperature for 1-2 days or refrigerated for up to 5 days. Reheat gently in a covered pan over low heat. The flavor will be deeper and more complex on the 2nd and 3rd days. Rice vinegar. Betty Saw's addition of 1 1/2 tablespoon of rice vinegar is an unusual touch not found in most other ayam sioh recipes. It adds a clean, bright layer of acidity that complements the earthy tang of the tamarind. If you prefer a more traditional single acid profile, you may omit the vinegar, but it does add a pleasant complexity. Frying alternative. If deep frying feels excessive, the chicken can be pan-fried in 2-3 tablespoons of oil over medium-high heat until the skin is golden and crisp. Alternatively, roast the marinated simmered chicken in a 200°C oven for 15-20 minutes until browned. The Ms. Iwa and the Boy Blog's roasted version produces excellent results with less oil.